Hello and welcome to the Peterborough podcast. I'm Kev Lawrence and I've been presenting breakfast radio shows in the city since the late 1990s.
And I'm John Baker and I've been a local journalist in Peterborough for not quite as long.
So for each episode, for as long as it takes, we will talk about things going on in our city. From politics to posh, if it's in the news, we may well talk about it. We will always be honest and relevant and positive. We don't hold people to account or slag the city off. It is just about being informative and local.
Absolutely. Episode 26 means that we've been doing this a year, Kev.
26?
Yeah. So, I know, and I've enjoyed the year, and we've spoken to some great people. Hopefully, we've entertained people a little bit along the way as well.
Hopefully. Coming up in this episode, well, we're going to talk about littering.
Yeah.
The 2-minute tidy up. We're going to talk about the Great British Spring Clean. I know it's something that you're very, very passionate about.
Yeah.
We're going to talk to you about Nathan from Street Art Hire, his latest commission with Queensgate. We've got a very special guest who is someone who knows all about theatre news from Theatreland.
Lawrence Olivier.
Theatreland. Our special guest is Naomi Proctor. She's the marketing manager for the Key Theatre and the New Theatre.
Yeah, and also we're going to be speaking about the youth MPs. Two new youth MPs.
That's easy for you to say.
False
Two
teeth.
new youth MPs.
Why didn't I think about that before I said it? Yes, I met them last week when they were elected as well. And a very brief bit about a charity mission that I want to speak about.
Right, let's get straight to what we're going to talk about for part one. And that, of course, is littering. I don't know how many times you've mentioned it on this podcast, lots and lots and lots. It is something that you are passionate about, making sure we encourage people to pick up after themselves, to keep Peterborough clean and tidy.
Yes. So it's the Great British Spring Clean, even as we speak. It goes to the end of March. Obviously a national campaign this is, as you said, to try and clean up our streets, essentially. So Peterborough City Council obviously is a part of that. We want to be engaged with it, as are the Wombles as well, the Peterborough Litter Wombles, who people may know about, the community group, who do such great work, and they're doing a number of litter picks in and around the city over these 2 weeks, and also further on into the year. So we had the idea, and I've mentioned it before, as you said, about something called a 2-minute tidy up. Now, I had this idea, this concept, that people could spend a minimum of 2 minutes, a couple of times a week, going out and tidying the bit directly in front of their house or their business.
So this isn't necessarily tidying up your own house for 2 minutes.
Nope.
This is step outside of where you work or where you live.
Yeah.
Look around, and if you see litter, if you see mess, 2 minutes,
that's all
sort
it
it
is.
out.
Oh, what people do, however messy people's homes are, is not our business. We would like to see, all of us, I think, is a tidier city landscape. So as you said, that means going out and obviously wear gloves, possibly use a grabber as well for things. Try and recycle where you can, cans, etc. And of course, only do it if you have the room in your dustbins as well. We do not want you to bag it all up into bags and then just leave them on the street corner. It has to be going into your own waste disposal. So we posted this idea up about the 2-minute tidy up this week as part of the spring clean, the GB spring clean, and encouraging obviously people to spend those 2 minutes. And should we say that the reaction has been mixed? Should we say very mixed?
What do you mean mixed? I mean, are people saying, "Are you telling us what to do?" Or are people saying, "This is pointless, not enough people are going to do it, so it's a waste of time"? Or what?
Right, well, there's two things straight away, both of those.
Right.
And then the third one is, don't we pay a city council to do this? And that's the killer one, I suppose.
You mean council tax?
Yes, yeah. Which I guess is true, but I think it's kind of self-defeating a little bit. I mean, personally, it's one, it's...
Maybe people without much of a moral compass would have that attitude. Surely the vast majority would know that a little bit of time, keeping the area where you live clean and tidy, surely it's a good thing. If enough people do it, it will make a difference.
Well, this is it. And once you've done it, we're not saying you have to do it all the time every day, but I guess it depends on where your sort of community spirit is, whether you're willing to put yourself out, if indeed you think that is putting yourself out for 2 minutes. I mean, if I could go on there, I've got the City Council's Facebook page in front of me, and I'm just going through the comments. I won't read out the names of the people. If people want to find them on the Facebook page, they can. For example, next week it will no doubt be pothole filling day. But then there's a lot of that sort of thing. And the fact of the matter is, we spend, as a council, the council spends several £100,000 a year on street cleaning, and that could be reduced. And if that was reduced, that might lead to that money being put elsewhere. So it's a kind of a circular thing. Yes, you do pay your council tax, but at the same time, you've got people who just do not care enough and do drop the cans, the litter, the cigarettes, the fast food wrappers. We see them all the time, all over the place. And in an ideal world, I mean, if you go abroad, you don't see it anywhere near so much. So what we've kind of done is, and I will say as well...
Can I make a comment?
Of course you can. You should do,
So you've made a really interesting series of points there. My issue with those people that go on there, don't we pay a council tax for this? They're the people you need to ignore. They're the people you need to ignore, because they're the sort of people that don't have much of a community spirit, you know, to use your phrase. I would ignore the negative comments, because I'm sure for each negative comment, you've probably got 20 people who perhaps don't comment that will still go on and do it. So don't be detracted by the negativity.
I'm not. And I almost feel sad for them a little bit in a way, because they're obviously quite... in their mind, there isn't a community spirit around them. I think if they were happier about their environment, they would do it themselves. And you say ignore them. I mean, maybe I'm being quite naive, maybe I'm being idealistic. I'd kind of like to change their mind a little bit, not just ignore them, but just because one of the things I'd love to do, and whether it happens or not, I think it will, because I want to really drive it forward. You know, you can go onto Facebook Live, and I would love to book a time, 2 minutes, right, on at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday morning or something, and say, right, we're going to go live now. And I go out and I do it myself, and everyone knows every week or every fortnight or whatever, this is the 2 minutes. The next one's set in a fortnight's time or whatever, and we all go out and we do loads of it together, right? And that's, I get, like I say, it's probably naive to think that we would do that, all of us as a community, not just Peterborough, by the way. This is not just a Peterborough issue.
If enough people do it, I don't stop saying, "Oh, it's probably naive to think." No, it isn't.
Good.
If you're passionate about it, do it.
I'm going to do it.
Do it.
I'm going to do it,
and take people with you.
But and what also made me feel better, I guess, is some of the other comments. So, for instance, according to this gentleman here, according to some of the posts on here, if there is litter just outside your house, you will probably just step over or ignore it because it is someone else's responsibility. It's pathetic. I mean, he's right. He's absolutely right. You know, we're not aiming to get people out there for an hour or two in the driving rain. It's literally the things that are on your doorstep. The other thing is as well that we did get a lot of. Yeah, I hope you're going to target different cultures and different languages as well. And that is a very fair point. We should be doing that as well. We should make this something that is for the whole city. Because a lot of these campaigns seem to be centred, I think people think that it's centred just around the city centre. And there are other areas of the city that could do with a giant clean-up. There's no doubt about it. So what we have to do is get everyone involved, everyone engaged. The more we can, the better.
All right, let me have a look at what the keepbritaintidy.org website says, talking about the Great British Spring Clean 2024. It's back for its 9th year. It is the nation's biggest mass action environmental campaign. It's the Great Big School Clean as well as the Great British Spring Clean on until the 31st of March. So pick up a bag of litter, pledge it online. Pledging to take part could not be easy. You just got to literally jump onto this website and pledge a bag and then make sure your bag gets filled. Last year, it says, our army of amazing #litter heroes pledged to pick more than 400,000 bags of litter. 400,000.
But isn't it
Imagine
awful?
the difference that makes.
You know.
Hold on. I don't want you to say, isn't it awful? Let's face forward and be positive, because you've got so many good ideas within this sphere. It worries me that the doubters, the people who aren't along with you, drag you down, ignore them, because this is a crusade in a way, John, that you're on, and I support you all the way on it. It says, can we count on you to help us clean up the places and spaces that we love this spring, as Keep Britain Tidy celebrates its landmark 70th year of protecting the environment. You could even set yourself a fun #platinum pledge challenge to mark our anniversary, such as picking up 70 items because they're in their 70th anniversary, and there's loads more. Schools can get involved, individual families or whoever can get involved.
Yeah.
If you care about where you live and you want to see it tidier, jump onto that keepbritaintidy.org website, jump onto the Peterborough City Council stuff about it, and go along for the journey, because it's a really good journey.
Well, how many? What's the population of Peterborough? In excess of 200,000 people. Let's say 230,000 people. And of that, how many people probably have the time and the physical capability to do it? Let's say 170,000, right? Let's say.
Well, we say do it
like
2 minutes
once
a week or something.
But so that means then we've got 340,000 minutes of clearing up done in 2 minutes if everybody did it. And that's the way, you have to look at it. Don't do anything, don't try and clean in the middle of motorways, because that's another mission as well. The amount of people who chuck food and wrappers and rubbish out of their cars as they're driving along, which is another thing. I mean, people should really keep plastic bags in their cars if they're going to do that. I'm not talking, don't put yourself in danger, don't pick up broken glass, anything like that. All we would love you to do, all people would love you, everyone wants a cleaner city. Everyone would love a sparkling, lovely city and to have pride in their community. And you go to some areas of the city and it's there, and you go to others and it isn't. But we've got to start from the bottom up, and this is an easy solution. We've got elections coming up. We're always moaning about, oh, well, I can't do anything. These people don't represent me, etc., etc., etc. You can represent yourself, and you can make a difference in the community by going out for a minimum of 2 minutes a week, maybe 4 minutes a week, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and going out and cleaning that bit, and there will be a difference. If we all do it now, by the time we get to June, July, there would be a difference.
Oh, couldn't agree more. It's the whole idea of multiple people kind of maximises the impact. Not just a few people, not just the little wombles, but every single
and what a
resident.
job they do, by the way. Marvellous team. They're always out there doing it. They're going right the way around Peterborough over the next couple of weeks and beyond. They do it throughout the year, and they're not the only community group as well that do it. There's some that do it on New Year's Day. If anyone's walked along, for example, Broadway, just on a Sunday morning, and you see how disgraceful that is, they go right through there. Those are the sort of streets that we need to target and do. It's a very busy part of the city, obviously. The more we do it, the better our city will look.
Okay, you can get more information by going to the Peterborough City Council Facebook pages and just look up the 2 Minute Tidy Up.